how are we all? I hope we're doing well, we're having a nice week. So I was sitting here trying to film the pregnancy video that you've all asked me to do. And I'm going to be doing a series like story times about one about my pregnancy, one about labour, one about afterbirth, and I don't know about the other one. I ain't decided that one yet. So yeah, because lots of people have asked me to do that on my Instagram stories because I asked you all, that's what you've requested. Well, I was sitting there trying to film it and I think I've taken 5 takes so far, and somebody else decided that she wanted to get involved. So I apologise if in advance you see this. So, because she wanted to get involved too, so I may end up picking her up and stuff. But anyway, let's get on with the video, shall we? Excuse my chipped nails, I haven't managed to pamper myself yet. That's what I'm hoping to do tonight. I'm going to paint my nails again because I've got really nice new barrier nail varnish. So yes, excuse me if I'm a bit distracted. So let's get on with the video, shall we? So, with my first pregnancy, I was told it was very unlikely I was going to have children, which it broke my heart, honestly. I'm one of them people that I've always wanted children. I knew I wanted a family. But in November 2014, I was told it was more than, like, really, really unlikely, basically. If you want to know about that, I can do that in another story time. It's a bit of a sensitive one, but basically, get your smears done, girls. That's what I'm going to have today, which I love. I'm not getting into that. So yeah, my fiance and me at the time, now my husband, basically we said, right, I'm coming off the pill. If it happens, it happens. So I took my last pill. It's really sad, I remember the date, on December the 13th. And on, I think it was February the 6th or the 7th, I found out I was pregnant. Well, I realised I was late. But yeah. So I was 3 to 4 weeks pregnant. So within basically a month, I was pregnant. It was a bit of like one of them, is it? No. Like, no. Is it? No. No, it can't be true. Like, you know, when your head is just, it's just so jumbled and you don't know, you don't want to be excited because you don't think it's true. And that's exactly what I was like. I was over the moon and so was my husband. But I didn't believe it. And I didn't believe it until we had our 12-week scan. I did tell work very, very quickly because I had to do a bit of heavy lifting and stuff. And yeah, but other than that, it didn't affect me at work. But you know what they're like with like manual handling and stuff, and when you're told you can't have kids and then you find out you're pregnant, you want to do everything you can to try and not lose it, including heavy lifting. So yeah, so that's basically that. That's how I found out. I took one test in the morning, didn't believe it, went and told work on the same day because I was in work, and then I came home that evening and took another one, and I was like, oh. But my husband knew, and he was like with me when it happened. He had the biggest smile on his face like it was Christmas. And yeah, so that's basically when I found out. I went off milk in cereal, in tea. I did not want it, and it was quite funny because at lunch every day that I was at work, all I wanted was chicken nugget sandwiches. I know, weird but tasty. And actually I didn't even click that. So I was, for the 4 weeks that I was pregnant and didn't know about it, I didn't realise that all I wanted was chicken nugget sandwiches. Until I told them at work, and my manager said, that's why you're eating all my chicken nuggets up. That's why we're having to order 2 bags. And it wasn't until then I was like, oh yeah. But yeah, so then I went into my first trimester was really easy going. They were a little bit worried because I have an underactive thyroid, and they were a bit worried about growth. So I got put under a consultancy so that they could keep an eye on me throughout the whole pregnancy, basically. So yeah, no problems at 12 weeks. I had my Down syndrome and everything, tests, like all them tests, all my blood tests, my booking bloods, and everything was fine, so really good. We then had another scan at 20 weeks when we found out I was pregnant with a boy, which I knew. I just had that mother's instinct. I knew I was having a boy. So, yeah. And yeah, everything was kind of alright until then. Then I had quite a bit of stress going on at work with a certain girl, and I was being bullied basically in the workplace. So yeah, but that's another story if you ever want me to do a bullying story. And I got so stressed, and we went on holiday to Tunisia. We were there for 10 days, I think it was, and when I came back I started getting these really nasty headaches, like almost migraines, and that was the first time I actually suffered. Do you want to sit out? That was the first time I actually suffered in my pregnancy, but these were horrible headaches. So much so I got signed off work for nearly 2 weeks because of these headaches and because I was so stressed and I didn't want to go to work. Even though I absolutely loved my job, but I had to work with this particular girl and almost supervise her. So it was one of them very awkward situations where my manager felt very awkward between us because she was saying I was bullying her, I was saying she was bullying me, we weren't getting on, and yeah, it wasn't very pleasant. So I had that stress in my pregnancy. Me and my mum didn't get on very well because at the time we were living with my parents because we'd moved into one place and then we decided we wanted to move out to save up. So me and my mum, when we live together, don't get on at all. Me and my mum, when we don't live together, get on really well. So hence why she's like my best friend. So yeah, we weren't getting on, we were arguing a lot, especially like through my second trimester. But other than that, I think my headaches lasted about 4 weeks, like they really were bad. And then other than that, I was okay. So then I had another, I'm sorry if she's distracting you by the way, I'm really sorry. I hope you're not. So yeah, then 28 weeks I had another growth scan, everything was fine, consultants were happy, and 32 weeks had another scan, no problems at all. Honestly, Leo was a breeze to carry. He was such an easy child to carry. And I was thinking, oh God, does that mean it's going to be a nightmare when he's here? But yeah, so the whole way through 36 weeks we had a scan, he was fine, and when I had him he ended up weighing 9 pounds 1.5 ounces and he was 6 days over. The only issue I had was the fact that he was 6 days over. I ended up getting what they called SPD or pelvic girdle pain. That was really painful because that was like my last week really, where he was like on that nerve, you're getting the lightning pains. Lightning pains are basically when you feel like you've got a knife going up. It's lovely. It's really lovely. What are you doing, girl? So yeah, that was basically my pregnancy with him. If you suffer with SPD in your pregnancy, all I can say is try and live in the bath, because baths really helped me, as well as hot water bottles, but not too hot because you can't have it too hot around baby. My partner also has a very warm hand, like he's like a radiator at night, so I used to like grab his hand and put it like where it hurt on my tummy, but other than that I have to say he was brilliant. Like, he was easy to carry. I didn't have any problems. So yeah, that was that pregnancy with number 1. And now on to number 2. Number 2. Number 2. This one, well, she was a little bit of a surprise, to be honest, but I wanted another one anyway. Yeah, so yeah, I wanted her. I was really excited, but also dreading it. But yeah, so this one I fell pregnant with in October last year, didn't I? And we found, well, I knew about 3 days in I was pregnant because I felt so sick. I really did, and I think I must have been about 1.5 weeks like pregnant, 1 to 2 weeks pregnant, and I went to take a chili con carne out at work. I'm a waitress, by the way, at a lovely bar and grill. And I went to take this chili con carne out at work, and I went to grab it, and I was just like, honestly, I thought I was going to puke all over the kitchen, basically. I took it out, gave it to the customer, and ran to the toilet, and I puked. And I was like, what the hell? What is going on? But I just knew instantly then. I'd felt really sick, and all I wanted was Fox's Golden Crunch Creams biscuits. A whole pack, dunked in a cup of tea. That was pretty much my breakfast, lunch and dinner for about 4 weeks. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted to eat. Any other food made me feel so sick. So when you're working in a restaurant and you're serving people food, it's really, really good. It's like, it's the best thing you could ask for. Not. So yeah, I kind of knew then. I didn't tell my husband. I was like kind of dreading his reaction. But I don't really know why. Like, he wasn't overly sure when he wanted another one. I knew I wanted another one around like when Leo was about 2 or 3. So yeah, that's how I knew in my head, basically. And then on my son's 2nd birthday, in the morning, I had like a laughing and crying fit. Now, I had a lot of them when I was pregnant with him. Like I'd be hysterically laughing, and then I'd turn into like hysterical crying, and then I'd go back to laughing again, and it just kept on and on. I had that a lot, and it was like the funniest thing. Well, it was the funniest thing for my husband. At the time, it wasn't very funny for me. But I had one of them on the morning of my son's 2nd birthday. And he went, "You alright?" He said, "You've not been like that for years." And I was like, oh my god, he's going to click. No, he didn't, thank God. We went out, we went for lunch, and we then went to Duxford, and because my son loves planes, we went round there, and I kept thinking, because my mum's one of them people, she can kind of tell when someone's pregnant. I don't know why, but I was just like, oh my god. But she knew I hadn't been feeling that great, but I never gave anything away. And then we came home, and we just had tea and stuff, and I had another laughing and crying fit. And my husband went, "You're pregnant, aren't you?" And I was like, what? What gave you that idea? And he was like, "Well, you haven't had one of them laughing and crying fits since you were pregnant with him, and you've had 2 in a day." I was like, okay, but alright, yes, I think I am, but I don't take a test because I'm really worried about your reaction. And he was like, "Oh, we'll just take a test in a couple of days." And I was like, I don't think I'm a couple of days pregnant. I think I'm a few weeks pregnant. You've known for that long? Yes, I'm pretty sure. So off I go to Tesco's at like 10 o'clock at night to go and get a test. No, it wasn't 10 o'clock because Leo was up. What's a twat? It was about 6 o'clock when he realised. I just went straight to Tesco's, and I left them here, went and got one, like a test, came back, went in the toilet, and I tried to sneak out of the toilet so he didn't hear that I was like done, because it had come up like that, I was pregnant. And I was kind of trying to process it myself. He heard me come out the blinking door, and he was waiting for me. And he went, "Well," and I went, "There's 2 lines." And he went, "Right, being a man, what does 2 lines mean?" "What are you doing?" "What does 2 lines mean?" "I'm pregnant." And he went, oh my god, we're having another one." And he was really excited. So it was really nice. We found out on a special day, which was my son's birthday, and we got to tell him that he was going to be a big brother. Not that he really understood, but we did tell him that there was a baby in Mummy's tummy. It must have felt like the longest pregnancy for him, because it certainly did for me. Being a kid, everything feels like, a week feels like a month, doesn't it? So yeah, he was but he was very good at actually keeping the secret, because we didn't tell anyone until I was 13 weeks, I think, and that was on Christmas Day. So yeah, at 6 weeks I had a bit of spotting, and so we had kind of a very quick scan to just make sure everything was okay, and we just saw this tiny little heartbeat which turned into you. Everything was okay. They were just a little bit worried because there was a bit of blood, but spotting is so normal. Quite a few people spot on implantation as well, so but if you are worried, I'm telling you now, go and see somebody. If you are worried about the fact you're bleeding or even spotting, do go and talk to somebody. Honestly, you're not wasting their time. So if you're pregnant now and you're wanting to listen to my story, but yeah, just if you're worried about anything, I can't stress enough, go, because we had no end of worries with this one. It was just the beginning. So yeah, at 6 weeks we had that scan. She was fine. We got told I was around 5 to 6 weeks, which made sense. And then my scan date came through for the 27th of December, and I was like, well, I'll be like nearly 14 weeks then, and Christmas is coming up, and I ain't gonna be drinking. People are going to be guessing, because honestly, by 10 weeks, I had a proper good bump already. I was big with both of my kids, but with her, I was bigger quicker. So I was like, what do I do to the midwife? I was like, I need to tell people, like, around Christmas, because people are going to guess. And she said, tell them you're on holiday. So that's exactly what I did. And because they can't scan you after 14 weeks for some reason, I can't remember what it was now, they had to do me before Christmas. So yeah, we managed to get the scan all done for Christmas, and we announced that I was pregnant on Christmas Day, which was really nice. And it was like, I put a picture, done jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to say we have baby number 2 on the way. And that's what we did. So yeah, it was really nice. It was kind of another special kind of way to announce her, really. And yeah, so, and then at 16 weeks I ended up having another scan because of all my previous problems where I'd been told I probably couldn't have kids. I weren't expecting to see her. They were measuring my cervix basically, and on that day I told my husband not to come. And on that day I found out I was having a girl. So yeah, so I went and got Sean a like a little box, and I'd done a balloon with a baby girl in it. Went and got some little things to surprise him, so that he kind of had a nice surprise. It wasn't me just saying, oh, we're having a girl, by the way. So yeah, it was a nice surprise. Didn't expect to find out on that day. But yeah, so I got to see her an extra time and found out what we were having. Then 20-week scan, obviously they then said, yes, you are having a girl, and I was like, yes, I know. Measurements were all fine, and then I didn't have another scan until 33 weeks. No, 32 weeks, or 31. I'm gonna get this right. I think it was 31 weeks, because I went in because I had reduced movements, because she was such a fidget baby, you can't even, oh look, we're tired. It's because we're not sleeping much in the day. Yeah, so at 31 weeks I had reduced movements because she's such a fidget bum. I knew something went right, and I was like, oh God. Rung them, they said, come in, we want to monitor you. She didn't move that much, and then all of a sudden she just started. And I was waiting for hours to like get seen, you know, and by the time she started moving, it was like, I felt like I'd wasted their time, even though I hadn't, and she wasn't moving like I thought. So yeah, if you ever have reduced movements, don't think you're wasting their time, because you're not. You know your baby better than anybody else. So yeah. So then we had a scan because of the reduced movements. They wanted to check. I think it was I went in another time. I went in at about 33 weeks. That was it. For another set of reduced movements. So then they done a scan, and she didn't move at all in the scan. So they were really, really worried, because it's very unlikely, especially if they're like being prodded about and, you know, like annoyed. Even like the slightest thing, even if they're asleep, they'd like move an arm or something. But she moved nothing. I was then thinking, obviously, the worst, like a mother would. And then we went back upstairs, went to get monitored, and she just started. She started moving. And it was like, what the hell, what are you doing? So she was just playing games with me the whole time, and the whole pregnancy was like that. Other than that, I didn't struggle like I did with the headaches and stuff. I didn't struggle that way. With my second pregnancy, I didn't struggle much at all. And then it got to 40 weeks, and I had my sweep booked in, and I had a sweep and I'd done nothing, and I was terrified of getting induced. I didn't want to get induced. And then I had my second sweep and that got the ball rolling. So yeah, if you liked this and you do want me to carry on with my story times for like labour and postpartum, I'll talk in a minute, postpartum, then give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you like this video, if I helped you in any way. If you have any questions, want any advice, I'm no expert, it's not like I'm cheaper by the dozen, but I've had 2 kids, I kind of know what I'm doing a little bit now. So yeah, both my pregnancies weren't that bad, I was very lucky. I know some people that had a lot of problems, but we all have our own problems and every pregnancy is different. And for sure I knew that with these 2. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, please give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Comment below anything you like, subscribe, pop that notification thing on, and I have decided that when I get to a certain amount of followers, subscribers, sorry, I'm gonna say probably on my last story time of this, I will say a number of subscribers that I will be doing a giveaway for. And yeah, because who doesn't like a giveaway, you know, who don't like one? So yeah, I hope you liked it, and I will see you for my next story time or makeup video. I'm not sure, I might put this up, I might do this as like a weekly Thursday thing, and I might do another one on a Monday. So yes, it was really nice to talk to you. It's really nice to actually talk about my experience, because you sit there and you just chat to people about your experiences, but you don't really get it out. Whereas I feel like I've got it out. I don't know what I've got out, but I've got something out. So yes, we're going to love you and leave you and say bye